welcome to the channel. In this video I will be covering the Sofirn IF23, and this is definitely not your ordinary flashlight. This can be used in many different ways, and I think it would be very useful in emergency situations. And don't forget, stick around to the end. I'll be giving away this Sofirn SC29, which is a $40 value. So here are the contents of the box. We of course have the flashlight, which includes a rechargeable 21700 battery, owner's manual, a pocket or belt clip, a USB charging cable, which USB A to USB-C, and a lanyard and some extra O-rings. The IF23 comes with this very sturdy aluminum case. It's very sturdy. It has a floodlight on the front, which goes from 1 lumen in moonlight mode all the way up to 4,000 lumens in turbo mode. This floodlight on the side goes from 1 lumen in moonlight mode, but only up to 500 lumens in its turbo mode. And you can change the colors on that. I'll be going through that in a minute. It also comes with this magnetic tail cap on the base here that you can use to connect to different metallic surfaces. It'll stand up on its own. It'll actually stand sideways, vertically. Horizontally. If you connect it to something metal, it's got enough strength to actually hold it that way. With this magnet and flat base and this magnet on the side, I think this will be very good for like using in situations where you're working on something and you wish you would have had somebody there to hold it for you. You could actually turn on the floodlight, mount it to push it up against the surface, and use it as a work light. That'd be useful for that. If you take the tail cap off, there's an O-ring right here, and if you remember, it comes with extras. And of course, you got to get rid of that little piece of paper there that keeps the battery from connecting. They do that for shipping. And it comes with this 21700 rechargeable battery, which you could actually pick up extra ones of these on Amazon and have several available when this thing depletes. On the side here, you'll see where it has this little USB port for charging. This little silicone cap here is a really good one on there to keep water out. One feature I really like about this flashlight is that it comes with a feature called reverse charging. So you can actually use your flashlight to charge your phone. And I'm doing that here with a USB-C to USB-C cable. It did not come with this cable. It came with this USB-A to USB-C cable. I tried using this adapter and that did not work. So USB-A to USB-C adapter did not work. So you'll have to use a cable USB-C to USB-C in order to charge your phone. So the Sofirn IF23 has an E-switch here. It's not a mechanical switch, it's an electronic switch. And that's your master control for the flashlight. Everything is done through that one switch. So I'll just briefly cover spotlight mode, floodlight mode, and color mode and how you do that. So, well, I'll do moonlight mode first. So if the last thing you operate is a spotlight and you hold down the button, it'll turn on moonlight mode, and that is 1 lumen. And if you single press it again, it turns it off. And so now that it's off, if you just press it once, it turns it into spotlight mode. And that is a saved setting. So the last brightness level you set, it will save it when you turn it on spotlight mode. It doesn't save moonlight mode or turbo mode. It just saves the brightnesses in between that. Single press again, turns it off. Now if you want to activate the floodlight on the side, you double click. And then I'll turn it off. I'm going to go through the different settings in a minute. But triple mode, a triple click on the E-switch will cause go to color mode. I'm sorry, I double clicked it. So triple click it. Yeah, color mode. And you can change the colors. I'll go through that in a minute. But that's the basic functionality of this flashlight. If you remember those switch presses, then you pretty much got it covered, except for some details within each spotlight, flood, or color mode. If you notice when I turned it on, it has a status indicator. It's flashing red means it's critical. It really needs to be charged. It only stays on for 5 seconds. So when you first push it, it stays on for 5 seconds. Flashing red is of course critical. Red means it's somewhere between 30 and 69%. If it's green, it means it's between 70 and 100%. So it's not real accurate, but not real precise, but it does give you an indication of the battery's status. Okay, let's first talk about spotlight mode, which is the light on the front here. So if you single click it once, as I mentioned, it turns on as the last saved setting. If you want to change the brightness level, you can hold it in and it will go from low, medium to high. Low, medium, high. And like I say, it's on low and I let go, it stops at that mode. If I turn it off, turn it back on, that's the brightness level it's set at. If I want to go right to turbo mode, I double click it while I'm in spotlight mode here. Double click, goes to turbo mode, and that is full 4,000 lumens, very bright. Now, single click again, it goes back, but if I double click again, it goes back to turbo mode. If I double click again, okay, that's strobe mode. Double click again, it goes to SOS signal. So it's actually sending an SOS signal right now. If I double click again, it turns into a beacon. So it's a full lumen single flash as a beacon. And double click again and it goes back to strobe. So a single click goes back to normal spotlight mode. So that's basically the spotlight mode and how that works. So now let's talk about the floodlight mode on the side. So double click turns on the floodlight. And it's very similar to spotlight mode. So if you double click again, it's going to go to turbo mode. Okay, that's 500 lumens on the floodlight mode. Double click again, it's very similar. It goes through the strobe, the SOS signal, and then the beacon. Single click goes back to that. Now, if you wanted to go to moonlight mode on the floodlight side here, you have it on. You have to have the floodlight on. You turn it off, and then hold it in, and it will turn on 1 lumen moonlight mode on the side. And that's pretty much the floodlight mode and how that works. So now let's talk about the color mode. So if you triple click, it will turn on the color mode, and it defaults to red. If you hold it down, we'll cycle through the different colors. There was kind of a purple there, and it's kind of a blue, then it kind of moves into kind of a green, and then an orange, and then kind of back to red. Now, I don't have a whole lot of uses for this, except the two things I can think of is if it's at night and you want to save your night vision. Red light is better for that. It doesn't take away from your night vision as much as a white light does. And one thing I forgot to mention, if you double click in this mode, it will blink. And that is about the functionality of this. And so what else could you use it for? Well, maybe you could, maybe you could have a signal to your neighbors or something. I don't know. I'm sure you can come up with something that, green is we're all good. Red means something's wrong. And maybe, stick it on something for people to look for what color. I don't know. I'm sure you can come up with something, but for me, I think I would just mostly use it just for a red light to not hurt my night vision. Another feature, if you turn on the light and you triple click it, it will cycle through floodlight mode, triple click again, color mode, and then it goes to spotlight and floodlight mode on at the same time. And triple click again, should go back just to spotlight, and so on and so on. Now, actually, a double click there went to turbo mode. But that's a nice feature. You can actually turn on the light and turn on both lights at the same time. Now, it also has a feature called lockout. And to lock it out to where you can't use the flashlight, you click it 4 times. And it'll blink twice to show you that it's been activated. So if you try to use the light after that, every time you touch it or anything you try to do, it just blinks twice to let you know. So to deactivate lockout mode, you double click it and the light came on. So, and it has an automatic lockout feature that if you turn it to lockout mode, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you 1, 2, 3, 4 again, my understanding is that turns off automatic lockout. So I must have turned that off because it's never locked out for me automatically. Here are my final thoughts on this flashlight. I've actually been using this flashlight as my everyday carry for the last couple of weeks, including walking the dogs every night. The battery life has held up very well during this time. When it arrived, it was red, not blinking. It was red, so that meant it was between 30 and 69% just state of charge. And I've never needed to charge it. I only charged it once in the last couple of weeks, just as part of my testing. And I've been using it for several days since, and it's still green. So it means it's between 70 and 100%. So I have no concerns on the battery life. As you know, this channel focuses on preparedness, and I would definitely recommend this flashlight as an emergency flashlight. Actually, it's probably the best flashlight I've ever seen for emergency uses. On top of it being a great weatherproof dual light flashlight with adjustable brightness levels, it has a strobe feature for possibly disorienting or scaring off intruders. It has an SOS and a beacon feature for like signaling for help. With the magnetic and flat base used in combination with a side floodlight, it's a great portable work light. I can also use it to charge my phone or other USB devices. What else could you want out of a flashlight? I actually discovered another useful feature that's not something that Sofirn advertises, but if you turn this on a high brightness level, like turbo mode, for example, 15 to 20 seconds or maybe a little more, the flashlight warms up quite a bit. It disperses the heat throughout the entire aluminum body, and you could actually use it to keep your hands warm. It gets quite warm for that. So that's something that is useful but not advertised. Now, having said all that, it's not perfect. I would like to see maybe a separate switch for the side floodlight here. There are just so many click combinations on this switch to function this flashlight. It's just a lot to remember. Now, when I first got it, it bothered me more than it does now. Over the last couple of weeks, using it quite often, I've got all the clicks memorized now, and it doesn't bother me. When I first got it, there was definitely a learning curve there. Also, another thing is that this flashlight is just a little bit too heavy and bulky for everyday carry. Now, I like to carry flashlights in my pocket, my like shorts pocket or pants pocket or whatever, and it's just a little too heavy and bulky for that. Now, if I clipped it on the outside of my pocket using the clip, or maybe my belt, then I think I would like it for that. So now for pricing. With all these features and a 1-year warranty, you would expect this Sofirn IF23 to be very expensive as compared to like a lot of the other big brands. But it's not. It's very reasonably priced at around $50. Actually, if you happen to be watching this before February 25th, 2024, Sofirn will be having a sales event starting on February 19th. And I have a coupon code below for Amazon that you can save an extra 10% off through February 25th. I'll put the coupon code below and the Amazon link down in the comments. And if the sales event has already passed, they'll most likely be having others. But at around $50, it's already at a great price. So now let's talk about the giveaway. So first, I'd like to thank Sofirn for sending out this IF23 flashlight for my review and providing this SC29 flashlight for the giveaway. To enter the giveaway, there are 3 things you need to do to be eligible. You must first have a U.S. shipping address. No exceptions. I'll be covering the shipping charges for this. You must also be a subscriber of this channel. And lastly, you must also leave a comment below and use the word Sofirn. Here's the spelling. Feel free to make any comment you wish, but it must include the word Sofirn. I would also appreciate if you like this video. So on March 4th, 2024, I will be random selecting the winner using a tool and announce the winner at 7 p.m. Central Time. I'll announce the winner by replying to the winning comment, and in my reply I will provide additional instructions on how you can claim your prize. Now, this is my first giveaway, but I do know that there could be scammers out there that may try to impersonate me and get money out of you. First, I will never ask for money for a giveaway. As I mentioned, this flashlight is being given away completely free of charge, and I am covering the shipping. So if anyone's asking for any money, it's a scam. You can also tell it's me replying to your comment because it'll have this little oval icon here, and my reply will look like this, as you see here. If the winner does not respond within 2 days, I will select another winner and announce it in the same way. And I will continue that every 2 days until someone finally responds. So be sure to turn on the subscriber notification bell for this channel so you don't miss that announcement. I hope you enjoyed the review of this very interesting and useful flashlight. Thanks for watching.